Hi, my name is Sam Johnson and I'm a voice teacher. Today I will be reacting to and analyzing Harry Styles performing Watermelon Sugar with the NPR Music Tiny Desk Concert Series. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Whenever you're connected to an unencrypted internet network, you are sending tons of information that could be intercepted by a bunch of other people. But a VPN, or virtual private network, creates a secure tunnel between your device and the internet. VPNs protect you from hackers, spies, and give you unrestricted access to all parts of the internet. For example, I love Lord of the Rings, but it's not available on Netflix in the United States. So instead of having to pull out my DVDs, I could just pull up ExpressVPN, say that I'm Canadian, and suddenly I can get frustrated by Frodo for 9 hours. Find out how you can get 3 free months of ExpressVPN by clicking the link in my description, expressvpn.com/SamJohnson. It's easy to remember because my name is Sam Johnson. Thanks again to ExpressVPN.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling.
I love that little distortion that he does. I'm not sure exactly how he does it. It doesn't sound like it's grabby. It doesn't sound exactly like a mucus thing, like where you might eat a little too much ice cream or some fried food and you get some mucus on your vocal folds. That can sometimes lead to some distortion. It doesn't really sound like that. It almost sounds like a vocal fry kind of thing, which just happens from under-energizing it a little bit. But I like that he was able to go back and forth between the same note and have both of them have a clear tone, or like have one of them have a clear tone and one of them have that kind of distorted sound. Little things like that really go a long way in making someone sound like a unique individual and like they're super stylish.
It's so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out.
So that first Breathe Me, he kind of kept everything in falsetto. The second one, he started with a little bit more connection to that full voice sound.
I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking out loud.
Same thing there.
I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
That's really well mixed with those harmonies. Like, they sound super, super good together. And I love the NPR Tiny Desk series. Like, I think that it's such a good way to listen to fairly unedited voices. I think it's a really, really amazing series. So if you haven't watched very many of them, like, go take a deep dive into some of them, because some of your favorite artists have likely done a concert set here, and it's really, really cool.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
So when he's going to high, he is getting that kind of vertical space, that warmth, warmth. Someone told me I said that word weird, and it's true. I do kind of say it weird. He gets that on high versus the kind of place that he was getting for some of those other places. And that tells me, like, yeah, it probably is a choice that he's doing, and he just is able to get away with it a little bit. When it comes down to it, he knows how to, like, actually sing in a way that's going to be really, really balanced. And once you find that place that feels like a really reliable center, you can kind of vary from it a little bit. You can get away with going in and out of that place. That said, I still think that if you can make the sound in a way that won't be as far away from your normal and you still are able to express yourself as authentically, that it's worth exploring that option. And I'm sure he has.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar.
I like her hair.
Watermelon sugar high.
I just wanna taste it. I just wanna taste it. Watermelon sugar high.
I love that. Just like the two voices, even with the harmony, because it's all three of those microphones are tuned a little bit lower. They're lower in volume than what Harry's microphone is, but they're tuned within themselves to like be balanced. Tuned is not the right word. They are balanced amongst themselves. And then we have the two on the left, the drummer and the keyboarder, who were kind of singing harmony to this other harmony backup singer's melody. And so she was able to start singing out a little bit more, but it all still sounded like its own set of instrument rather than like competing with Harry at all. So there are different levels to this sound mixing, and I think that's really interesting. It also was nice to be able to get her to sing that a little bit more forcefully or powerfully, but still not have it draw our attention too much, because this is kind of an interlude from the main part still. I like it.
It's like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want your belly and that summer feeling. I don't know if I could ever go without it. Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
I really like her voice, the guitarist's voice. It's super clear. I really like her voice.
Watermelon sugar high, 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 watermelon sugar high.
I'm often asked, how do we learn how to sing harmonies? With something like this, where it's just repeating a very similar section over and over, just go learn every single line that they're doing. Like, try singing along with this girl, try singing along with this girl, and the other one, and try singing along with Harry. Memorize every single one of those melodies, and just by forcing yourself to listen to each of those individual parts, it'll start training your ear so that you recognize how these individual lines fit within the overall harmonic spectrum. And when you're able to just kind of intuit what that's going to be, then you're going to be able to start experimenting on your own. And then I just go choose some other song that you're really familiar with that might not have a harmony, and just start making up different sounds. Like if you want to use your brain for a second, find the first note that they're doing and then go a third or a sixth above it or below it. If you're in C, then the third above would be an E, or if the sixth above would be the A, or below it would be the same thing because they're inverted. It would be the A below or the E below. And so if you start on that kind of place and then just kind of follow the same contour of the melody, you'll be able to just sort of trust your ear. But it is a thing that takes a lot of practice to be able to just totally improv. A lot of times it's bad when you first start. So you got to get used to being bad. And that's such a big thing with music in general, is if you're going to get really good at music or at singing, you got to make a lot of mistakes, and you got to be okay with that. And you can't beat yourself up for all of the mistakes that you're going to make, because if you do, then you're never going to be able to get the repetitions in order to learn how to do things well.
I just wanna taste it. I just wanna taste it. Watermelon sugar.
Yeah, that cool little flip she's doing.
Just wanna taste it. I just wanna taste it. Watermelon sugar.
I love what he did with that, where he started with a little bit more of a harmony. Like the whole thing was different from the regular melody, but he still started it a little bit softer, so he was almost emerging from the overall soundscape. He was on level with the rest of them, even though his microphone was up a little bit higher. And then as he grew through the end of it, it kind of popped out. So he's really good musician, and he's listening to everything around him all the time. And I think that when he makes these decisions, it's with that in mind, of the overall soundscape, rather than just like, am I going to sound good when I do this? I don't think he's in his head about that kind of stuff. I think that he's too good to be thinking about, well, what am I going to sound like? Am I going to get on the right note? I bet that he just trusts that if it was a little bit off at all, he'd just listen and he'd be able to get back into it. But you got to listen a lot harder than you're singing.
Watermelon sugar.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. They're really good musicians. They're listening to each other all the way through. So I don't know how much they've practiced this, but it sounds like they've practiced it a lot, because they're a really tight band. They listen well to each other. I really like Harry Styles. I think Harry is one of the best like pop rock performers that we have right now. And he's still so young. So it's like, I wonder what he'll start doing as his career continues, because he's already had a few sort of stages of his career, and he's navigated all of them really, really well in a way that he's like reinventing himself with as he ages. But is it a reinvention when he just seems to be growing as a person? Because I'm a totally different person than I was when I was 18. He's probably a totally different person than he was when he was with One Direction. And it seems like less a reinvention that is this intentional image that he's trying to portray, and more just like him being cool with himself and letting that go, letting everyone see it. I think that's awesome. It shows that you're really comfortable with yourself to be able to change and let your art change as you change without being too judgmental of yourself and too scared about what other people will think of you as you change. Because people will react well if you just show your most authentic self. And I think that's a really hard thing to get by because it feels so vulnerable. But it's like, if they don't, then who cares? They're not your friends. They're not your fans. Like, you will find the people that gravitate toward you the more that you're willing to just let yourself out. And I think it's a really freeing thing as an artist and as someone who's learning how to sing to just be like, who cares what people think? Maybe this won't be a top 10 record, but like, I'm doing this for myself and for other reasons. And the people who have long careers that are really successful, they're focused on trying to express themselves and on doing this because they love it, not on trying to make other people like them. And I think that's why I like Harry so much, is because he's just being Harry. I think that's rare. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Go check out my links in the description. Go join my Discord if you want to talk about things, and be nice to other people. And have a great day. Just do me that favor, okay? Just have a great day.